We're joined now by Anthony Broadsheet, Community Engagement Manager from the Rural Fire Service. So good morning to you. Now, can you talk us through the emergency warnings, how many we have at the moment, how many fires are uncontained?
So we currently have 77 bush and grass fires burning across the state. Of those, 42 remain uncontained. 8 of them are burning at the emergency warning level. Further 8 are burning at a watch and act advice level.
So we just heard from our reporter that conditions have improved somewhat. I suppose you and your organisation are always looking for that scintilla of hope. How are we in contrast to the peak of it late yesterday afternoon?
Yeah, yesterday we peaked at 17 emergency warning fires, which is a record for what we've seen in terms of fire activity in New South Wales. Overnight, we have seen the conditions ease, and firefighters have really tried to take advantage of those easing conditions, taking advantage of the cooler temperatures. But we also saw a southerly change move across a lot of the fire grounds across northern New South Wales. That saw the fire activity increase and change direction, and that did see a number of different communities across these fire grounds come under threat. We have had firefighters on the ground overnight. There's still over 900 firefighters in the field, and they've continued to protect property, often in very isolated areas across northern New South Wales.
Anthony, we've been hearing there are possible reports of fatalities. Can you confirm that at all?
I can't confirm that. It is obviously a very challenging situation with a lot of people who are in isolated and rural areas who may have been isolated and affected by these fires. That's exactly why we're encouraging people to register with the Red Cross through that Register, Find, Reunite program. So we are able to start accounting for people who may have been out of contact over the last 24 hours.
Well, thanks for joining us this morning, Anthony Broadsheet. Just asking the question, how many of these areas are isolated? What kinds of communities are we talking about? Because these fires, there's so many of them going at the moment.
Yeah, we really are talking about a large area of fires. There's over 700 hectares burning across New South Wales at the moment, which, to put it in comparison, that's actually more than a large year's worth of fires in New South Wales. And a large number of those fires across the central tablelands and northern tablelands are burning in very isolated, rugged countryside where there are a number of people who live in those isolated rural properties. So it is a very challenging situation. I really can't understate how challenging this has been for our firefighters for a number of weeks. And unfortunately, given we don't have any significant rain on the forecast, there really isn't any end in sight for this current fire emergency.
Yeah, you certainly, as you mentioned before, you had a little bit of reprieve with that southerly change coming through. But yeah, some of these fires have started since late August, and obviously, well, almost 100% of New South Wales is drought declared. We do have some hot weather coming through Tuesday and Wednesday, so it's a bit of a reprieve, but not for long.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We are looking very closely at the weather forecasts over the coming days, and as you say, Tuesday and Wednesday are looking like very challenging days again. So we'll be looking to take advantage of the slight easing in the conditions over the next few days to try to build those containment lines and try to get as much protection into these communities as we possibly can. But we do have a large number of firefighters in the field. We're also supported by interstate and international firefighters, and we are trying to do what we can to protect communities, as we know communities are also doing their best to prepare and respond accordingly.
When people are isolated, the media can often be their only source of communication. If people are watching us this morning in those isolated areas, where and what is the message from the RFS?
Yeah, the message at the moment really is you do need to keep up to date with the situation for the fires in your area. The best ways to do that are keep up to date with the Fires Near Me application on your phone or via the website www.rfs.nsw.gov.au.
Thanks, Anthony. We'll get back to you later in the morning.